Witches, welcome.
Hi.
Hello, for having us.
Have you guys, has this been like a full Comic-Con day? Is this like the end of it? Are you just getting started?
I just got here.
That's right.
Just
arrived
got
from
here.
Paris, and
Harry, you
Casual?
might need to use your mic.
Oh, yes.
yeah, she just arrived from Paris. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I came down from North Ontario. Where do you guys come from?
Los
Cali.
Angeles.
Yeah, baby.
We were.
Yeah.
It's been very full on. It's been an hour.
Yeah.
It's been intense.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm leaving this interview right now.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Mayfair Witches, there's books. Were you all familiar with the books when you came to this? Was anyone like a huge fan, or was this a new thing to you all?
It was brand new to me. I mean, I knew Interview with the Vampire, the movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. But I think, the connection was made when I had my first audition, and you kind of like do the research, like, oh, Anne Rice, oh my gosh, oh yeah. So like most of us, I obviously downloaded the book.
Mm-hmm.
56 hours.
56 hours,
Yeah.
1,000+ pages.
Casual, yeah.
Yeah, that took like 4 months to finish. But that's how I got introduced to the story of and the world of Anne Rice.
Yeah. What about you?
I was not a huge Anne Rice fan, though I'd seen an Interview with the Vampire, and of course I'd heard all about Anne Rice and everything, and how famous she was and how many books she sold. But upon listening to 9 of the 56 hours, couldn't get through the whole thing. I was absolutely fascinated by her writing style and her ability to pull you in as an audience into the character development, and that's the great thing about this show, which has been opened up so that the characters can be fully developed over a period of a season, and you can get great stories about witches and love stories and stuff like that. And I'm going to hand it off to you guys for the love story part. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, there's so much to the book. Yeah. I read the book. I started the book when we started filming, and then I finished it as we finished. So it took me the whole 4 months. But yeah, like Harry said, there's a ton in there, so you get to really get a lot of great character development.
Yeah. Does that mean you finished it and you thought, crap, in episode 1 I did a thing that I wish I didn't do?
No, because I always do that just in general.
Sure.
Because, we're actors.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're
Try
insecure.
not to go back and think about it, but wait a second. You were reading the last page on the last day we were shooting.
That's correct.
So, yeah.
That seems like that's interesting.
Pretty much.
I remember you were finishing the book as we were in. I remember it. It was amazing.
And I was like, I did it, guys.
Yeah,
I finished.
did it.
I got through the whole
And then they
thousand
went
million pages.
cut, print, wrap.
Okay. And she thought, man, I would have played this totally differently had I known. No. Well, let's talk about all of your characters and give me kind of a rundown. All I know is your family patriarch is what I've read, but what can you tell me about your character?
Well, yeah, I'm the old guy. That's true.
That's a
and there
different way
has
to
to
put
be
it.
one. I'm also kind of the life of the party.
Oh, okay.
And I spawn some witches. And, I'd say that Cortland is kind of the glue that holds all these wonderfully powerful women together.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fact checked. All right. What about you?
I play Cyprian Grieve, Sip, and he works for the Talamasca, and he's a combination of 2 characters, Aaron, and Michael. Okay. And so my responsibility is to, the organization is to monitor the supernatural, and if and when we need to, we intervene depending on how extreme the situation is. So when, Sip meets Rowan, it takes us on this journey of, why is this happening to her? How does this affect me? And what's Lash's story in all of this? So it's kind of like this interesting journey through this tunnel.
Yeah. As if life weren't complicated enough.
Exactly.
There's magic.
Yeah.
What about Rowan?
There's always magic. I'm Rowan Mayfair. I play Rowan Mayfair. I'm Alex Daddario. And thank you.
She gets very deep into character.
Yeah. And I play, the main witch, which is cool. And I've always wanted to play a witch. I feel like I have the complexion for it. I was ready for it, and I just love Anne Rice. I think it's this fascinating character, and I think there's so much to her and so many layers, and we got to do insane, fun, off the wall things.
Yeah.
off the wall is right.
Yes.
It is really interestingly off the wall, which is so great.
Yeah. Where are you?
I play Lasher, who is, by the way, everyone's got to help me with this because it's so hard to describe. He's a dark entity that is owned by the individual witches and is inherited by their sort of predecessors that go up to Rowan, who's now the 13th witch, and
he's like a demon appendage.
He is.
Oh.
It's sweet, because in the book it's a very different version of, like, as we said, it's like interpretive. So we're he's only seen or felt and is almost like a channel for these witches to use their power, to channel their power, to expand upon their power, and he definitely has his own ulterior motives. But yeah,
he's like a bad boyfriend.
Yeah. Or a really good one.
A really good bad boyfriend.
Yeah, I like that better. He's a really good bad boyfriend.
That's right.
So we're dealing in a world that has witches, but also other creatures, it's safe to say, right?
Yeah, it's a magical, mystical world. Yeah, I mean, the at the core, it really is about a dysfunctional family, which is also fascinating because I always think I think there's a lot of magic in life, and a lot of the fun of the show is that it's relatable. We all have people in our family that are different than us, and all these, and you just add a dash of magic, and people are greedy and angry and lustful and jealous and all that stuff, and when you add magic to it, it just brings it to that crazy fun level.
Yeah. What is the weirdest piece of direction you all got on this project? Is there anything? Because I would imagine you're having to
Alex, you want to answer that one?
I mean, there wasn't direction too weird because everything we did was so weird.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they let me out of my cage. It's like, you go ahead and do whatever you want, because this character is kind of crazy, and they let me be kind of crazy, which is good. Yeah.
I think what I like about this is because we're still discovering this world. Obviously, Jack would say this so eloquently that we've taken the beginning and the end, and we kind of stay true to how the book finishes. But we've also taken liberties to kind of up it up a little bit for modern day viewers who might actually get introduced to Anne Rice through the story or through the TV show, and eventually get down to the book. So I think in that it allows for exploration of character and just how to figure out the best way to navigate telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned family, and I am curious what the dynamic is between your characters.
Well, I didn't find out what the dynamic was until I read episode 6.
Oh, wow.
Or 7, I think. But I found out that once I read that their dynamic is very deep.
I like that.
And very twisted.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that up to the audience to find out in episode 7.
He's been manipulating the Mayfair women for a long time in very
nefarious ways.
Correct.
Wait a minute, I'm a good guy. I'm not a bad
Good
guy.
bad
He's a very good guy.
Yeah. We're all good bad
Just
guys.
there were days we got to set, and you'd go and you do your first shot, and hair and makeup would go oh, it's gonna be one of those days. Sometimes you just go and there's just crazy off the wall stuff, and sometimes it was more grounded.
Yeah. Okay, the last thing I want to ask you guys, which is kind of weird, but I've thought about this a lot, I'm not gonna lie. If you could cast one spell to help you fix something super mundane in everyday life, but it would make your life so much better, what would it be? I can tell you what mine is if you want.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It's when you're trying to parallel park your car, and there's a spot that is just not quite big enough, but the car in front can fully move up, but that person clearly parked a long time ago, and I could just move it up a little. That is the bit of magic. I can just literally do this, and it bumps
that's
it up.
really deep.
Okay.
But I think I would go for everybody in the world loves everybody else. How about that?
Well, that's much better.
But by the way, I love yours was like the smallest. If you have one little,
I was like, I'm going to do this, and you're going to give world peace. That's
I'm
great.
sorry, but I mean, if I had one spell,
That's
it's not
great.
going to be parallel parking. I'm sorry.
I want the vegetable aisle closer to the entrance.